And the first thing I want to mention is that I managed to get a very quick reply from the help desk, which was very nice. And so, excuse me, and so in our class, I was able to load up a discussion. So this is our class. You know, we are O1. And so in the discussion area, you will see that I put a little thing here for you to just look at. I mean, it's the things that I talked about on Monday, where this is the storyboard template. That's just a PDF of the principles of animation. This is that drawing I spoke of. And then you can see that a couple of people saw that I had loaded that up there. And I thought that was the first thing that we would want to do today, is that grab your JPEGs and put them up here. You know, if it's a JPEG, if it's a PDF, Targa, TIFF, whatever it is. And so just upload it right there so that I can look at it. And that's the first thing that I wanted to do today, was just kind of review anything that shows up in this discussion area. And then from my itinerary, I wanted to just see if I can do this. This is the first time I've tried to do this, but I'm going to try to show you some of the flip books that I have. And that would be another alternative way for you to present flip books if you have them for next week, because I think that next week we're doing flip books. We're doing this hand-drawn animation. And so in order to do that, I was going to just run through what the other section of this class looks like online, and I'll do that just quickly. I'm not sure if I want to record that or not. I haven't decided, but at least you'll be able to see what the school had planned out for the class to be asynchronous. And what I mean by that is that these students are just self-timed. They're self-motivated, where they can go through the modules for the exploring animation class at their own pace. It's self-paced. But what our class was designed to be in the classroom, and I would be looking at whatever it is for the outline and just saying, okay, well, look, here's our outline, and there's nothing there. And so it gives the teachers just a lot of room to wiggle around. But because we're still in the pandemic mode, I thought it would be good to just show you what the actual design of the class looks like. All right, so having said that, let's take a look at, so yeah, so this is new. That little discussion thing was just added yesterday to our class. All right, and remember that you can just go ahead and reply here like a whole bunch of you are doing. That would be ideal. So just click on this, and then you could just say, create a new post right there. Okay, so this is the first one here. I've got Carolina. And again, if I pronounce your name incorrectly, just yell at me. Oops, hold on again. I have to be on. Hold on. Oh, Zoom. There we go. All right. So yeah, if I pronounce your name incorrectly, just yell at me. And I'm trying to find my chat window. There we go. All right, so I'll put that over there, and All right, Maddox is saying that I haven't finished your storyboard yet. That's fine. I book time with the school that I can do reviews. And so if things show up tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, I will try to go in there and reply to them. All right, so let me just take a look here. Okay, so Carolina, am I saying your name right? Carolina, Carolina, okay.
It's Carolina, but you can call me Caroline.
Okay, Caroline. All right, so we're doing the right thing by just drawing quick thumbnails. That's absolutely great. And for some reason, this won't let me. Oh, this is strange. The school allows you to draw right on top, like you're annotating. But it's kind of funny because this little tool's in the way. You know, it's like, how do I get that tool in there? So basically what you've got is you've got your 16:9 panel, your storyboard panel, and you've got a vanishing point that's like way over here, which is fine. And you've got a pie. So one of the things that I would recommend here is that, oh, I don't want to do that. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everyone? I'm going to switch over to the annotation tool in Zoom. It's not the absolute best tool, but it works okay. Let me, yeah, it's only a moderate tool, so I can draw over this. All right, so basically what I was saying is that what this does is it gives you a vanishing point over here. And then automatically there's probably another vanishing point over here. What we see is a pie. And so what I would recommend is getting that pie to be maybe a little higher so that it breaks the plane of the little countertop here. Because you're creating yourself a tangent. You're creating yourself a place where the upper line of the pie and the countertop come together. And you want as good of a silhouette as possible. So I would suggest, you know, if you were going to redo this at any point, for instance, I would recommend just moving the pie up just a little bit. Okay, so we see that there's the pie sitting, we see these hands come up. They look around for the pie. She comes up. And then in panel 5, it looks like the character disappears. In panel 6, it looks like the hand comes way up and then she stands up, but then there's something missing here. I think that we can see that there's a slice of pie taken out of here. And so you kind of missed the opportunity to play around with some action poses there. Or even the idea of her cutting it and the idea of her eating it. So, and then the second page, hold on a second. Oh, I see, okay. How do I get out of this? I'm going to refresh this. And I'm going to erase this. Yeah, that didn't work. All right. So then we can see that you switch to a top-down mode of the pie. We see that the pie is then being eaten, and that it looks like the character might have eaten the whole pie. And so I think that's good. I think it's a really interesting take on the story, for sure. I don't mind this top-down thing here, but I do think that it would probably be better if you were to have taken, let me go back here, at least a couple of panels and shown what your character looked like, but you know, before they ate all the pie, and then just how messy it got. you know, there's like blueberry pie all over her face. You might have even wanted to go in there and do like a thing of her walking away, right? So you cut to a side view of her walking away. And she's got like a big belly, you know. All right, so that's good. All right, let me figure out how to erase this. This is one of the times that I pencil, expand, shapes. That's weird. I just told it to delete it, but it's not deleting it. It's still there. All right, I'm going to all right, I'm gonna see if this helps. All right, let's see if that helps. All right, let me actually go back here. So I had a couple of people just join the class. I want to make sure I get my attendance correctly. So give me just one moment, everybody. All right, Tiffany, Ryan, Robert, Nina. Okay, got you, Nina. Naomi, Maddox, Louisa. Okay, got it. And for those who just joined, I was just saying to everyone that I just added a discussion area to our class. So you can go ahead and put your files right there if you would like me to look at them. Okay, good. All right, so the second one then, Tiffany. Okay, so just a couple of things. I haven't seen this yet. I got a chance to preview the first one just a moment ago, but let's look at this. So you've got a title card, Witchlet's Pastry. And there's a witch and she's got a cauldron. She's putting stuff in there. There's a cat. Time skip, I don't know quite what that means. All right, but there's stuff going on in the cauldron. You switch to a different view. And then it says that there's a shelf with stuff. That's good. All right, so she's making her potion. Yeah, so this is good. Just a couple of things that I would like to annotate for this. And that would be that remember when we talked about this on Monday, that these are thumbnails and they're good. I think the drawings are good. You know, I give you a check plus on the drawings. You know, maybe a little messy, but that's okay. That's okay. But I think that what's going on is that you've got shapes that are overlapping each other. So you've got this this cat that's in front of the cauldron and in front of the witch, and I could just see the cat right there. And so you want to make this drawing a little darker so that it separates itself from the rest of the composition. And that might mean making it a little more clear and going in and really coloring in the cat fully and more precisely, more perfect silhouette kind of thing. And then I remember we talked about this on Monday, that if you're going to draw at this level of detail, you should really be working with 16:9 aspect ratio. Now, because right now, I mean, you could draw thumbnails that are just really quick, right? You could just say, well, here's the cauldron and my witch is over here. And then I want to put a cat right here. And you could just do these really quick, right? These are like 5-second gestures. And when you're doing these really, really quick thumbnail gestures, then the aspect ratio doesn't quite matter so much. I mean, you don't want to make it square and you don't want to make it like cinematic ratio, but we are shooting for 16:9. And so if you're drawing at this level of detail, you should be thinking of your focal points, your center, your action safe, your title safe. And for instance, like this hat, you know, if you're going to take this up, this 16:9, you would actually see more of that hat. And this actually gives you a lot more room to play around with on your stage. All right, so the drawings look good. You basically want to consider a couple of things that these are all in a close-up. All of this is in a close-up, and then there's a cut right here. And so this is a mid shot. And so this is a mid shot. And then you go back to a close-up again here. And then this is a mid shot. So just reminding all of you that that's what you're actually looking at. That's what you're actually looking at. All right, so this is interesting here. So in this cut to panel 14, it looks like that this is a top-down view of the cauldron. And the witches actually made skull bread. So I think that what you want to do is you want to make sure that these words go down here, put them outside of the storyboard window. Keeping track here. So Tiffany, what happens here in this final panel? Tiffany, do you have a microphone? Or do you have your chat?
I do. For the 14 and 15, it's actually a plate, which I should have added a panel for.
Okay. So she makes the cookies in the cauldron, the skull cookies in the cauldron, the skull bread, and then puts them on a plate.
So the story is like the witch is making the dough in the cauldron, and then she takes out the dough from the cauldron and moves to a different room where she like shapes and cooks the bread.
Oh, I see.
And at the end, it turns into.
Okay, yeah, I get it. And so then she has a plate of skull bread. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Thank you, Tiffany. All right, let me go back here. All right, let me keep track of this. Aha, so Surijiba is coming in with stuff from Flip-a-Clip. All right, so it comes in as a little hard to see, but let's take a look at this.
Billy, my apologies. Thank you so much for giving me a chance to come. And my name is Galina Rosin, and I visit your class
Yes.
to just give information for students. Hi, guys. I'm director for the lab facilities, and I would like to invite you for our remote lab. And Billy, you and your students can use remote lab for the education process. 1 hour before class started and 1 hour later, you guys can enjoy our remote lab. You're sitting at home on your computer, and we can organize your connection for our lab on 180 New Montgomery. I put for you some information on the chat now. Would you please, guys, tell me if somebody got an email from LabTech support academyart.edu with information about our lab, remote lab. If yes, it's good. If no, we can send for you because I have your rosters, Billy. Thank you so much for send for me. Just students, please let me know if you gathered this. Show for me your sum or send me got it or not. Please show for me your sum. You
Okay.
gathered this information. Okay, good. That means all of you gathered info about our lab.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Please contact with me, my team, if you have any question, if something not working for you, we help you stabilize, save you time. We have all software installed for you, Adobe Creative Cloud, Maya, everything what you need. Thank you so much. And Billy, my apology, I interrupt your class. Good luck with everything, guys.
Okay.
And enjoy.
Okay. Thank you, Carolina.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
So what she was just saying there, everyone, is that there's a lab that's attached to our class that is open an hour before the class and an
1
hour
hour before and 1 hour later.
1 hour
Yes.
after, before and after. And this is the link over here in the chat area. She just posted this link in the classroom. So copy that link and you can use that link every day that we have the session. Okay. And what I will do is I'm going to actually copy this and post it in our class.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're
And
welcome.
you know, and information about our lab, you already got it. You need just install on your computer small software, Tiradici. This is industry standard software. A lot of company uses, and I hope you enjoy from home using our machine.
Okay.
If you have a question, Zoom, my technician, like go over with you. Thank you so much.
Okay. No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right. So give me a moment, everyone. All right, hopefully that works. What I would recommend is that you copy the link yourself and then just use this one that I'm posting in the discussion area of the class. Here, let me show you, just as a backup. So I posted this as a lab, right? And I tried to get this link correct. Let's just take a look. Let's see what happens if I click on it. So that it's just taking you to like a support thing here. And I think that it's not working because the lab is open an hour before and an hour after class. But just go ahead and utilize that if you would like. And that technology specialist for us, she's been with the school many years and she is on top of everything. She is really smart, right on top of whatever the school needs. All right, so sorry, let's go back to Srividya. Did I say that right?
It's Srividya.
Srividya, okay. All right. All right, so I mean, this is kind of, oh, there we go. All right, so let me take a look at this. The drawings look fabulous. They're looking a little small, so let me see what happens if I zoom in on them. And let's see if I can move it around. I'm not getting my hand tool. All right, let's see here. Oh, here we go. All right, so I might not be able to draw on top of this, but this is great. So you're using exactly the same process that I talked about on Monday, and that includes setting up your perspective, setting up your focal points, your vanishing point, setup, action, character design, excellent. it looks like what you've got here is the Flippa clip is giving you the numbers of the panels, which is fine. But remember that what I was preferring is that you were numbering the actual panels. And so that means that you could write this here. All right, so the sun is coming out. And I'm just kind of wondering what's going on in this first panel here because
It's the same. It's just from right to left and right to left. So that's the order.
it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Uh-huh.
All right, I think that's fine. You might want to think about what happens if you start to play this as a video, though, because what happens is that your perspective is going to change. It's going to look like there's a great big camera move in there. And it's just up to you whether you want that or not. I would say that if you are creating a 1-point perspective in this composition for all 4 panels, it's going to get a little distracting if every time you cut, oh no, wait, I see what you're doing. Wait,
Yeah, so in the first picture, those were the storyboard panels where like I took one panel and then made it more detailed, but for that I had to add new ones if I wanted to draw on top of it in a different layer.
okay. So those are all the same basic drawing. Yeah, I would just say be careful of what happens to your video when you change the vanishing point that much in 4 different panels. Well, let's see when we get to the story. So your character comes out, they turn and away from the camera. One thing that you may want to consider here is that, and I didn't mention this on Monday, but this becomes an issue sometimes where you really want to pay attention to what's going on with the position of your character. So right now your character looks like it's standing on the edge of the screen. And remember that we talked about action safe and title safe area, action safe, title safe. And so you try to keep your action inside that area. This is fine. You can go to a mid shot. A character standing here facing away from the camera and the feet are off camera, that's fine. This is a close-up. So the rest of the character would be, standing over here doing whatever they needed to do. That's fine. But this becomes an issue. You never want to have a character interacting with the edge of the screen. So at all costs, if the character is taller, make sure that we understand that the feet are longer. And so this comes to the idea of design. Make sure that we can see that the placement of this character is intentional and that it didn't look like they were accidentally standing on the edge of the screen. Like right here, see this? This is one thing that you do not want. You do not want your character interacting with the edge of the screen. Okay, do you got that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to clear this and move it over. All right, so they're thinking, they create a special effect. Am I going in the right order here? They get mad, they run.
You were in the right order, but I think the frame numbers are sort of covering a little bit of it. So in
That's okay.
the 9th one, they're actually picking up a rock and then it bursts.
Right. All right, so you've got the right idea. And I think was there a second page?
The second page is just a cleaned up version of the first 4.
Yeah, this is where the school's thing here is not behaving itself. All right, so that gets, so, okay, so your cleanup looks good. And I can see that what you're doing is creating the proper perspective in each one of these panels. So that's excellent. And it looks like this might be rain. Or
There's sparks. I didn't know how else to draw sparks.
sparks. You know, like from a firework or something like that. Is
Yeah,
that-
or someone lighting a match or something like that. It's just sparks.
Sparks. So sparks. You know, it depends on which way they're moving, and then sparks explode. And they turn into little circles, and they turn into little pixie dust, right? It's magic. They can turn into little spirals. What does this say? Flyer? Flare.
Yeah, I just combined flood and fire.
Oh, okay. All right, so it looks like you're totally on the right track. It looks like it's good, it's working. My main suggestion though for you and for everyone is just make sure that the character is not interacting with the edge of the screen. It looks like you even drew little lines right there. It's just not a good choice. But it looks good. Looks the drawings and the work are totally on the right track. Good job. All right, I just refreshed my screen, but it wasn't behaving. There we go. Okay, Lauren. Okay, this looks good. We can see that there's perspective here on the fence in this exterior shot. Your panels are numbered correctly, your shots are in there, that's always good. These lines creating your frame are good. They're fine. We see that there is a title card, nuts, and there might be a squirrel. He comes in, he stops, he looks, there's a cut, his head goes down. And then there's another cut, he turns, goes to the window, tries to pull the window open. A human comes in and opens the door for him, her. And the nuts on the table are sparkling, so he's very happy. But then in panel 14, he becomes sad because the human takes the nuts away. This is a nice little emotion pose right there. That's good. All right, and then so he's walking away chagrined. And then we might be able to imagine that this acorn falls from the tree.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and so your drawings are all good. Presentation is very good. The story is perfect, except I think that you need one thing, and that is that when after this acorn drops and you zoom into it. So remember we talked about this a little bit on Monday, because basically what this is this. So you really can add these lines in here saying this is a zoom, right? And then this is fine. You can keep this. This is shot 13. This is panel 19. That's fine. But I think what's the one thing that's missing? You gonna take a guess?
The duration?
Hit the what?
The duration, like the time thingy?
No,
like the-
no. Well, oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the next thing for sure. What I had given you on Monday was the full lecture, right? This is the I can't think of it. This is the time. Sorry, sometimes my Zoom thing doesn't write correctly. Or the slug. In one iteration, of the definition of what a slug is that it's just the timing of the boards. But when I teach storyboarding, the slug is all of this. It's sequence, scene, right? Panel number, shot number, time, which is the actual slug, and then screen direction, dialogue, whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, technically that is missing, but I'm searching for something else. And that is this. His smile is so big, right? That it goes outside his face. And he's leaning a little bit. You see that? Got the little line of action pushing him from one way to the other. I'm going to put his tail over here. And I'm going to put the bush right here. And I'm going to put the house, just a little hint of the background in the house. His little nose. Squirrels often have little teeth. So I'm going to put his little teeth like that so you can see him. He's very happy. His eyes are like this, and you might even get away with like some little exclamation marks for his eyes like this. So just the reaction. This is a reaction shot of him seeing the acorn itself. If we go back to this shot here, where the human takes the acorns away, you might be able to intersperse a shot here. So if this panel number right here is panel number 15, then you can come over here and you can say panel number 16, because if you take this and you put the human right here, and in a closer view of the human, they turn and look. Let's just say that it is a woman, right? And that she turns and looks to see that there's a squirrel. And once again, the drawing tools in Zoom aren't the best, but I think you're getting the idea here, right? So she's got the nuts in her, she's holding them, but she turns to see that there's a squirrel out there, and she's happy, right? She's just smiling. And in this view here, I think that it might be interesting if she kind of brings this hand up and reaches in and grabs a nut and just tosses it in panel 16 and panel 17. And then it's not necessarily that the acorn dropped from a tree. It's just that your human character interacted and with the squirrel, and she did a good thing. She threw so this is the same. Panel 18, panel 19 are the same. Panel 20 is the same, but you've got an emotion happening here. You've got a little bit deeper narrative happening if the human sees this and gives the squirrel one of the nuts. It adds more of a warm component to the narrative itself. What happens then is that if you do this with panel 16 and panel 17, then these panels get renumbered. If you're in a production and you don't want to renumber all of these panel numbers, if this is making sense to you, right? Then what you can do is you can just say, this is panel 15. This ends up becoming 15A. And then this action right here is 15B. And then you can continue with the same order of the panel numbers. Okay, you got that idea?
Yes.
All right, very good, excellent. I'm gonna, if you wanted to take a screenshot of that, that would be fine. Okay. Let me know if you, are you gonna take a screenshot?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good, thank you. Okay, this way. Very good, Lauren, very good. Alaya, is that how you say your name? Aliyah,
It's Alia.
Aliyah, hi Aliyah. All right, so you are, oops, you are drawing this in TV Paint?
No, I first drew it on paper and then I put it into Metabang on my iPad.
Okay. All right, panel number, shot number, character, a dragon comes in, he's tracking a ball, he's playing with the ball. He flings it up in the air. This looks like a bird's eye view. That's fine.
Yeah.
So he grabs the ball, he throws it up with his, he takes it from his mouth and either tosses it up with his head and smacks it with his tail. And it goes into a cave. Good drama here. Nice little switch of color. All right, and you've got some good detail. He's looking around, excellent. And so I can imagine that this is a cave ghost.
It's supposed to be another like larger dragon. I wasn't
Oh,
sure how to do it in that scene.
Well, it doesn't have any feet, so it looks like a ghost.
Mhm.
Is it just another larger dragon?
Yeah, it's supposed to be lying down.
Okay. Okay, good. So in 30 panels, you've got a really nice narrative where your green dragon comes in and he's looking very worried. And then the blue dragon comes in and claims the ball. I think that you say the word running here, but I'm not seeing the word running. You know, I'm not seeing the action. Is it that the blue dragon is running?
No, the green dragon is supposed to be running forward.
Okay, yeah, I think that you might wanted to cut to a mid shot to show that.
Mhm.
Like this, you know, keep that all in one basic shot. And then he bumps into the blue dragon turns around. And I think this is good. I think you could even exaggerate the camera a little bit here so that your green character is looking up more, and that this is very dramatic. I think that you could get this to fill the screen just a little more. Here, let me show you. So I'm going to stay green. So this is good, but I think that what helps heighten this is this: if you keep the head lower in the frame and you've got the eyes looking up and he's kind of worried, and then you got the little wings. So that puts the horizon like way up here or even further. This is called a 1-point vertical. And then I think your character has little horns. So you can use the horns to show some sort of worry, right? So I'm pushing this down, I'm exaggerating this downwards. And then this can be exaggerated in the opposite. And so this, the character's head here could be bigger, more pointed, you know, the eyes, and use the frame as much as you possibly can. Get those wings to come up to fill as much of this it's all about power. And there's a little nostrils, right? There's his little ears. So I'm just pointing out the idea of what exaggerating this shot and this shot help provide, especially because if you go to shot 26 and keep it here, that means that this character had leaned forward, right? And then in this character, in this shot, they're moving backwards a little bit, which disengages this character quite a bit more. It's a friendly action. And I think that you can do the dog thing here, where the ears here can be like in the down. You can make them very worried at first. And then you can bring them up. So you use pose A and then pose B to show some acting going on with the ears. Pose A, pose B. And then the arm comes in and they become friends. So yes, great story, great narrative, very good presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alia, did I say that right this time?
Yes, you did.
Alia, okay. Okay, Naomi. Teapot. Character walking. This is good. This is a nice little way to establish. They're coming in, switch to camera. It looks like they might be at the water's edge, and so they're might be a little apprehensive. I'm not quite sure what panel 5 is. So Naomi, what's happening in panel 5?
So there's supposed to be like a glint in like the water,
Oh, okay. So
and then
what are these shapes?
rocks.
Rocks, okay.
So they're supposed to be like reaching in for the water, and then that's panel 7, and I have panel 8 in the one like below it, but yeah, where they're reaching into the water.
Okay. And what is that, a teapot?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I see what you did. So you put panel 8 down here. You know, that's fine. So in this kind of presentation, you always want to make like a little mark right here and say, okay, panel 5, panel 6. If there is no panel 7, that's fine. Panel 8. And then you go back to panel 10 and 11. Oh, I see what you did. You went this way. Try to keep it upper left, go to the right as much as you can, because it just gets a little confusing if you're going to go downwards like this. If you're going to go downwards, and just put a little arrow, right, indicating that that's how it's going to move. 8. I'm trying to figure out where panel 9 is. 11, 12, 13.
9 is right above or right below panel 7.
Right, okay. So she just pulls the teapot out of the water. And in panel 16, she holds it up above her head. And in 17, she's happy. Okay, this is good for everyone. I think that the expressions here are exactly what you need for doing thumbnails. Remember that we talked about this before, that this is a little bit squished from what a 16:9 ratio would be, but because these are just gestures, it's fine. You are doing the absolute right thing by just getting the camera in the right place, by establishing the story, establishing the narrative. All of this is good. The only thing that gets a little confusing is just the order of your panel numbers. If you were going to present this, I would just want you to go panel 1, 2, 3, for that kind of thing. But this is all good. This is great for gestures. This is great for thumbs. Okay, good job. And your character design. Okay, good. Let me refresh this. Come on. All right, does anyone else have anything at the moment? No, okay, so I can continue to look at these. I will continue to look at this storyboard and thumbnails folder over the next couple of days. What I'd like to do right now is just take a 5-minute break. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about your next module, which is your flipbooks. So in our class, we moved to hand-drawn animation, and they're saying using a flipbook, and I'll show you the demo from the class and how to do the flipbook. And then I'll show you the examples of the flipbook. And then I'll give you some hints as to how to make the production value even that much better. So I'm going to pause to Suridia. Survidya. I'm sorry, I keep screwing up your name. I had posted
You're getting closer, don't worry.
Survidya.
Yeah, there you go.
Survidya had sent me a message that she had just recently watched Glenn Keane's Duet. Oh my God. Not only is the presentation of Duet, like on YouTube, a brilliant, wonderful film, but if you have the chance, well, I take that back. Without going into a long, drawn-out discussion, there was a wing of Google called ATAP, and ATAP was putting together 3D films for the iPhone and the Android, and they showed up in an app called Stories. So if you were to, but I think that they've discontinued supporting that application. But I had it on my phone, and I've had it on my phone long enough that Survidya, that is actually a 3D film. So when you're watching it, you're supposed to take your cell phone and move around with it. It's a beautiful film just on YouTube. It's called Duet by Glenn Keane. And I think I like the YouTube version better, because when you're playing it on your cell phone and you're having to move around, you could actually miss things if you're not careful. There's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole bunch of films on that Story app, but I don't think that they are supporting it anymore. Absolutely beautiful. And Glenn Keane just 2 years ago directed Over the Moon from Pearl, which is a Chinese animation studio. And I thought he did a really great job. It wasn't nominated for any awards or anything, but and last week I mentioned Araya the Last Dragon and Luca from Pixar. You know, those should be on the top of your radar. I also mentioned Klaus, the story from Sergio Pablo Animation, which is a studio in Madrid, Spain. Absolutely astonishing film. Brilliant. My favorite style of animation, that cartoony stuff. And then Wolfwalkers, which comes to us from Kilkenny, Ireland, a Cartoon Saloon. So yeah, there's tons of stuff happening. On Netflix, there's like every week there's 2 new animated anime series out there. It's crazy. Okay, so let me see how this is going to work. I'm going to turn off my background so you can see this. All right, so there you get to see my studio. Well, let's see how this works. This is the Cinderella flip book. I'll do that again. All right, and I have probably have 100 flip books. Here's Snow White. And I think that this would be fine if you wanted to do your flip book, however you wanted to do your flip book and present it like this next week. That would be fine. I think that would be fine. I believe in this flip book, not only do you get the full color on this size, but on this side, you get the pencil test. Oops. All right, I have one more. This one is the, I forget where I got this. This is probably the one of the more interesting ones I have. This is Pinocchio. I remember last week I mentioned that there's like a whole bunch of Pinocchio movies out there. Let me make sure I got this going the right way. So this one is done on note cards. You can see the typical 3x5 note cards. So let's see how we can get this to work. There's Pinocchio. And he's doing his little dance. And one more time. Yay, Pinocchio. Okay, great. All right, so once again, remember that I will be looking for storyboards over the next couple days. This is just for you to get a really good, this is weird, I got a whole bunch of stuff on here that I actually didn't want. Let's go there. Cool, now I'm in some sketchy alley somewhere. So yeah, if I see storyboards on the online portion of our class, I will look at that. Again, I'll be just looking for them in the discussion area. Looks like someone just uploaded something right now. So I'm gonna go to the bottom and take a look. Kayla, is that how you say your name, Kayla? Or Kyla?
It's Kayla.
Kayla, okay. All right, let me take a look. One second. Okay, Kayla. Character front and back, that's good. Panel numbers, okay, good. She's thinking about something. Not quite exactly what she's looking at here. What is this thing what is this thing right here? Is it a well?
Yes.
Oh, it's a well, okay, I could have looked forward. All right, so one of the things that might have made this a little more clear is if you would have given yourself, so this is fine, the character's feet would be down here. And I don't know what these are. These could be mountains. Are these supposed to be mountains right here? So what I'm seeing is maybe that there's a horizon, which is about right here. And then what that does is it gives you your perspective grid that looks something like this. And then the mountains become more dominant in the fill-in sections here. give yourself your clouds up on top. And then this looks more like a well if you give yourself like a little pagoda top to it. Something like that. All right, so what is this? Is this her eye? This is, what is this? This is
So
this,
like that's like from like the top perspective of the well.
so this is her looking down the well?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that what you might be missing is just the sides of the well. It's like right there. So what these two lines are like the top. And so this drawing here looks a little funky because I'm not sure we would be able to see the trees in the side view and the well from the top view. So I'm not sure about this. I'm going to put a little question mark there. If she was looking down the well here, then this well would actually be like this. And just you've got like this little roof thing happening here. And so, and then this would not be a circle, it would be more oval. Something like that. In the drawing classes, we talk about drawing shapes in perspective, and you say, let's spend a whole bunch of time drawing perfect circles. And then we take the circle, we try to draw perfect ovals. As the ovals collapse into a perfectly straight line. And if you connect these all together, you would have a really tall Pringles can, or this is your Pringles can. Sorry if I'm making anybody hungry. So rely on the rules of perspective as much as possible. All right, so this looks like she's falling down the well. And she continues to fall down the well. So there's a 1-point perspective. But then what happens in panel 6? She stops falling down the well and she appears at a door and opens the door, and she's now in a new space. And let me, okay, so she's transported herself like Alice in Wonderland just by using a well instead of a hole in the ground. All right, I think you've got a really good start here. These drawings here are all pretty good. We got the sequencing of the story working pretty well. The only thing I would dispute is just the perspective on the well in this shot and a little bit of the composition in your establishing shot. Other than that, Kayla, pretty good. Thank you very much. Let me make a note in my book. Right. All right, so let us take a moment. I'm going to go over to the exploring the other class here. It's very strange. Hold on a second. All right, so let's just take a look at what is, so for my other class, they're doing the hand-drawn animation first. And so now we're doing, even though the logo is the same for us, we're doing this, we're doing hand-drawn animation now, which goes from tomorrow until Monday. So let's just take a look at this. In the way the typical Academy classes are set up for online, there's always an introduction, there's always the directions for how to get through whatever the module is. There's a little video, there's a little thing about Aladdin. I don't need to play that for you. You can always go back and watch Aladdin for yourself. Here they're talking about And I think I want to play these, because if I'm recording this and I put these up on YouTube, this might disqualify me from being able to actually upload it. So there's just a couple of videos here about the art of animation, history of the montage. I talked about this with my class yesterday, just about how, well, the way the classes are built is there's these little interactive things where it's say, hey, take the history of the design of Mickey Mouse and put it in the right order. By the way, some veterans of Disney hate this new Mickey Mouse. I love it. I think it's really great. So this is the first iteration of Mickey Mouse. This is the most current one. And so, yeah, that's the correct order right there. If I hit submit, look, I get a good job, it's correct. Then I can go to the next module. Another video of how cartoons are made. This is just a hand drawing thing. There are documentaries about hand drawn animation online. Continuing, I talked about this with my class yesterday, that this is probably a copyright violation. The Academy is probably not allowed to simply just post a model sheet of Bugs Bunny without permission, but you know, that's okay. And then there's just a bunch of other ones in here, just about character design, planning out your shots, walking, reacting. That was a Richard Williams thing. Okay. All right, and this is me. This is Billy Balloon. And so what we have here is the introduction of drawing a flip book. A couple of simple rules for the flip book. If you're doing it with the 3x5 cards, anything will work. Just whatever you want to do, just have fun with it. That is the first rule. If you know you're doing it right, if you're having fun with it, and you can write that down and put it in your list of catchphrases or rules for art and animation for the rest of your life. If you're doing it right, it should look easy. If you're doing it right, you should be having fun with it. For flip books, you don't want to work with anything that has a lot of detail. You don't want to work with things that have shading and color. You don't want to work with things that are like super realistic. So in this one, this little fish right here is probably going to be the best kind of approach for doing a flip book, keeping it simple. All right, and then there's some examples of flip books that are taken from video. So they just took the frames and printed them. Here's one from Felix the Cat. Again, I think that you can see, actually, let me pause the record. I will post this on YouTube and then put that link in the classroom. I believe I sent you all the YouTube link to your email, right, on Monday. But now I will post the link in the classroom. So you can just go to the online classroom and go to see it right there. All right, unless anyone has any questions right now, I will see you all on Monday. Got it? All right, I'll see you all on Monday.
Thank you.
Okay, ciao for now.
Bye. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, ciao. Maddox, you have a question?
I do. I just wanted to make sure real quick. I'm doing the main part of because I'm using Flip a Clip because you said it was okay.
Yes.
Is it okay if I do like a tail swing for a simple animation?
As long as it's simple, sure.
All right, and do I need?
Are you talking like a pendulum?
No, kind of like a dog's tail waving or something like that.
Sure, absolutely. Give it a try.
And does it have to be outlined or can it just be a sketch?
Either one. Either one. My theory is that you're becoming an artist. If you're not already an artist, you're becoming an artist. Make it look good. Make it look good, but don't spend hours and hours and hours on it. You know what I mean?
So just make it look clean so
Just make it
people
look
can
clean.
tell what's
If
happening.
it's a sketch and it looks okay, that's fine. If it takes you just a few seconds to draw it and it looks good, make sure that all the drawings look that way. You know, if, like you said, you're going to try to do like a bird flying or something, right? Did you say a dove?
No, a kind of like a tail wagging is what I was
A
gonna
tail
do.
wagging.
Hmm.
So there's a whole bunch of tutorials for that online. 2D animation tail wag. So follow this one. See, follow the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then reverse it. So just do this. Remember, I did 2D animation tail wag, right?
Yeah.
See it? So this can be done with, let me see what the numbers are. So this is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then back to 1. So this is done with 14 drawings. So and this cycles. So if you're going to do this like with the Flip-a-Clip or Rough Animator, then you do 14 drawings on 2s and it cycles perfectly. It's just a tail wagging. But follow this example right here. There are
Seems
other ones
easy
that,
enough.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there are other examples that are even a little more simple. But I think that you could probably handle this one. It's only got 14 drawings in it. Okay.
Alrighty, thank you.
Okay, I'll see you Monday.
See you Monday.
Okay, ciao.
Hello.
Hello.
Um, I was wondering if maybe I could show you some test animations that I've done before as like
Okay.
practice.
Okay.
If I were to do that, how would I be able to, or like what is the preferred way of me showing it?
So what you can do, let me go back to Zoom here. So this is Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a couple of different ways you can do this. What kind of files do you have?
I'm pretty sure they're I turned them into GIFs.
Okay. So the first way to do it is just to, and let me share my screen with you. So the first way to do it is to just go to here, like I'll add a section topic and I'll just say, I'm trying to think of a good word. So what you're looking for is just feedback on previous work. So I'll just call this previous work. And I'll key this in from today until the end of time. And I'll just say place any early work here. Oops, I should spell early correct. And then when you do that, you can just respond to this and submit the file right there, and I'll see it. When anyone posts anything, like right here, I can see that as our session was closing today, 2 people uploaded work after I stopped critiquing. So that's fine, you know, and I will go in there and I will try to write up a quick response by commenting, or I might just wait until Monday to comment. But if I see anything here, that number will change, and we can talk about it in class, or I can write up a quick critique right here. And so that would be just uploading the file. The other thing that you can do, because that's what this is, right? That's what everyone's doing here. They're just uploading a file. If you upload a movie, it'll show up like a little box right here with a play head in it, and it'll be fine. The other thing that you can do is, do you have a YouTube channel yet?
I do have a YouTube channel, but
So
it's
you can
not a
just-
professional one.
That's okay. So you can just upload it to your channel, right? And then just copy and paste the URL. So when I'm looking at this one from last week, I just copy and pasted this URL, right? I just went like this, copy, then I went back to, you can just go back to the classroom, and in this previous work, when you say create a new post, there's a thing right here where it says embed from the web. And then when you do this, you can just post right there. Now let me see what happens if you can just put it right there, and it'll show up as a playable movie right in the window. So that's a couple of different options for you.
All right.
Okay, and then I will look at it, and if I have time, I'll write up a quick critique here by responding, or we can wait till Monday. That's the best way.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
For the storyboard, for the storyboard assignment, is there a certain point in time where we can't turn it in anymore, or?
For this class, no. You can
all
put
right.
it in there anytime you want. And I will
Okay,
go
that's
back and
good to
look at
know.
it. It's just an art experience class. I know for a fact that the Academy has instructors that they're militant. They don't like any student in their classroom working on any other project than what their class is set up for. If they catch you working on any assignment in their classroom, they'll kick you out. They're
wow.
nuts. They do not like being late. I tend to be more of a teacher and a production artist. I worked in the industry for 20 years, and I was never late. I worked on 400 projects, and we never ever missed a deadline. I know everything about deadlines, but in the teaching environment, I understand that life happens. And so even in my regular classrooms, I tend to, if you email me and say, you know, oh my God, I had a flat tire on the freeway, you know, how terrifying. And it took me 2 days to deal with it. Can I have an extension? And, you know, I'm not the easiest teacher in the world, but I also have 3 kids, and I understand that stuff happens. So for this class, as long as you show me stuff, I'll be happy, and I'll respond to you, and I'll give you feedback. For the regular classes at the Academy, I want to make sure that you are trying your best to strive for professionalism and really great aesthetics, and it's a different environment. The junior and senior year teachers, they want to make sure that you are ready to work at ILM. They want to make sure that you are ready to work at Warner Brothers, that you can apply for a job at the Cartoon Network, and the graduate degree that you get from the Academy means something, and that they will look at your material because you have a degree from the Academy. And so you transcend yourself, and you are becoming professional. But for this class, as long as you can get stuff to me, you'll be happy and I will be happy.
All right.
Okay, I will see you Monday.
Have a good day.
Okay, ciao for now.